Hey guys, welcome back to Fantasy Tip. My name is Julian, and in this episode today, we are going to be talking about the top 50 players for fantasy this year. In my opinion, this is my list of the top 50 players in fantasy. Before we jump into it, guys, please leave a like and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Trust me, you're not going to want to miss any of my preseason content this year, guys. It's going to be an absolute banger. Lots of content every couple of days. Going to be definitely putting out everything I can so you guys can have the absolute best fantasy drafts possible, guys. So stay tuned, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell. One last thing before we get started, guys, is that these rankings are for hits leagues. Point-based hits league specifically, but if you are a categories hits league, that's just fine as well. The rankings should be pretty accurate, so don't worry too much about that. Just keep in mind, guys, that it is for hits leagues. I am going to link to a spreadsheet down below for my top 50 rankings for non-hits league as well. So if you don't have hits in your league, the rankings are going to be decently different. So definitely be sure to check that out. All right, let's jump into the list right away. So let's start with the number one player for fantasy, and that is Connor McDavid, guys. There is no denying that Connor McDavid is going to be the number one pick in your draft. Anybody takes anybody other than Connor McDavid, they are making a terrible mistake. Connor McDavid is by far the best player in the NHL right now, and definitely should be going first in any draft. Then Leon Draisaitl, obviously playing top power play with Connor McDavid, sometimes plays alongside him as well, but he's an amazing player in his own right, and definitely deserves to go second. He has that double eligibility, which definitely helps as well. Nathan McKinnon at number 3 has missed a little bit of time in the past couple seasons, but if he can stay healthy, he's definitely the third best player, if not the second best player in fantasy. McKinnon, I love him on your team. If you can get him, definitely grab him. Auston Matthews finished a little bit a disappointing year last year, but still scored 40 goals. If that's a disappointing year for Auston Matthews, I definitely want to be drafting him early in my fantasy draft. He can also be a top 3 fantasy player, so definitely do not sleep on Auston Matthews. David Pastrnak, obviously, 113 points last year, 61 goals. Well, I don't think he's going to hit 60 goals quite again. He's going to have an amazing season. Obviously, no Patrice Bergeron. May hurt him a little bit, but he's not playing with Bergeron 5-on-5 anyway. Pastrnak is definitely an absolute stud. Definitely like him on your team. Matthew Tkachuk obviously had an amazing playoff run. People really realized how valuable this guy is during the playoffs last year, and obviously 109 points during the regular season was no slouch either. Tkachuk's a great player. Definitely like him. Got him at number 6. Jason Robertson, obviously, he just took an even bigger step last year to really show how elite of a player he is. 109 points, 46 goals. Jason Robertson is not going anywhere fast. Got him at number 7. Kucherov, 113 points. Full 82 games played. Like to see that. He did have injury issues in previous seasons, so to see him play a full 82 games, definitely encouraging. Definitely like him at number 8. Mikko Rantanen, I got him at number 9 at 105 points in 82 games. He's an absolute stud. Gonna play with McKinnon, top line, top power play. Like, even if he doesn't play on the top line with McKinnon, Rantanen is an absolute stud in his own right. Got him at number 9. Jack Hughes, 99 points last year, so close to 100 games. If he was able to play the full 82 games, he obviously would have hit 100 games. It's so sad that he wasn't able to do that. But this year, I do think he's going to hit 100 points. 43 goals also last year. So Jack Hughes is an emerging stud, and he may end up finishing even higher than this. Kirill Kaprizov at number 11, 75 points in 67 games. It's so nice that Minnesota Wild finally have a superstar on their team. It's been so long. They had Gaborik way back. But other than that, they never really had a superstar, the Minnesota Wild. They've been pretty unlucky with that. Kaprizov is exactly that, and he's an absolute stud. Don't hesitate to take him at number 11. Elise Pettersson at number 12 last year hit over 100 points after a pretty disappointing year the year before. Obviously, he turned it up towards the end of the year 2 years ago, and last year he was just super consistent all year. I think he's really found his stride in Vancouver, and he's an absolute stud at number 12. Now, Brady Tkachuk is someone that is great if you are in a hits league. I have him ranked 13, same as NHL's got him. But if you don't have hits in your league, he's going to slide quite a bit in your ranking because he does shoot the puck a lot, which helps in all types of league. And he also hits a hell of a lot, which is only really helpful in hits leagues. Now, Cale Makar at number 14, 66 points in 60 games last year. If he can stay healthy, this dude is obviously going to be your number 1 defenseman. Hopefully he can stay healthy this year. And if he does, guys, it's going to be an absolute treat for you to draft this early in the draft. At number 15, Tage Thompson, 94 points in 78 games last year. It was a breakout year for him, guys. I'm so happy that he really took that next step. looked really, really good. And Tage Thompson is someone who I'm excited to draft in fantasy again this year. Alex Ovechkin at number 16, obviously hits league. Remember that. He's not going this high for me if you're not in a hits league, but 75 points still in 73 games, 42 goals. Pretty good year for Alex Ovechkin overall, and I expect him to keep it going because he wants to hit that goal record. He wants to catch Gretzky, so he's going to be trying his best, even though his team is not necessarily the best anymore. UC Saros at number 17, the highest ranked goalie that I have. 919 save percentage, 63 games started, 33 wins. Like, this dude faces a crazy amount of shots, and that's why he's super, super valuable, especially in points-based leagues. UC Saros is my number 1 ranked goalie. Roman Josi right behind him at number 18. He's the best defenseman other than Makar for me. I know his team is maybe not as high quality, but honestly, I think they're going to do just as well. They got some guys who are going to fill out the lineup, and I think Philip Forsberg is going to have himself a nice year. Roman Josi should have no problem getting points on that top power play. I'm not as worried as some other people might be about Josi's value this year. Alexander Georgiev, he's my number 2 goalie. Obviously, Georgiev is going to have himself a good year. He was the number 2 goalie last year in fantasy overall. Some leagues even number 1. He's on a very good Colorado Avalanche team, and he is the starting goalie over there. He started the vast majority of the games, and he's going to be the guy over there. Francouz, for some reason, didn't start that many games last year, and I imagine it's going to be the same this year. Georgiev got him at number 19. Mitch Marner at number 20, 99 points in 80 games. He's pretty much one of the safest picks you can make. So if you want to make a really safe pick in the second round, Mitch Marner is a guy you're going to want to grab. He's going to play with Matthews or with Tavares. Like, no matter what his top power play over there, he's a very, very, very safe pick. Alexander Barkov at number 21. I got him a lot higher than NHL's ranked him, but he's an absolute stud. Had even a little bit of a down year last year, but still got 78 points. I love Barkov, and I think that he's going, if he does go that late in drafts, he's an absolute steal. JT Miller, triple eligibility is huge. Maybe he won't start the year with triple eligibility, but even if he starts with double eligibility, it's a great thing to have. 82 points, 81 games, really good with the hits, with the shots. He's kind of a threat on all levels there. Sidney Crosby, 93 points in 82 games last year. He's still going. Even though he's getting a little bit older, guys, Crosby's still a stud. Got him at number 23. Steven Stamkos, 84 points, 81 games. NHL has him at 30. I got him at number 24. Tim Stützle with a breakout year last year with 90 points in 78 games. Now, I'm not necessarily saying he's going to do it again, but this dude looks really good, and I think he's going to have another amazing, amazing year. Could even be playing with Tarasenko this year, so let's see how he does. He's going to have power play time, and he's going to do well again. Mika Zibanejad at number 26, 91 points last year. Obviously, he's an absolute stud. Keep in mind, he's a natural center, though, so I don't always advocate for drafting natural centers early, but Zibanejad is obviously an absolute stud. Then I have Sorokin, Ottinger, and Vasilevsky all in a row. 3 absolutely fantastic goalies who are going to have good years and have starting positions. The backups aren't that incredible on any of these teams, and all these guys are going to get a lot of starts and are going to do very, very well. Timo Meier at number 30 is someone that's definitely for hits league. He shoots and he hits a lot, 66 points in 78 games, but the shots and the hits will offset that, and he will have a really, really good year, possibly playing with Jack Hughes. Igor Shesterkin's another goalie I got, 916 save percentage, 58 games started. That was kind of an off year for him, so if he can turn it on, he can finish well above this ranking. This is where I got him for now. Jack Eichel, 66 points in 67 games. Hopefully he can stay healthy the whole year this year. If he does, he's going to be a really good value at this ranking. John Tavares, at number 33, 80 points in 80 games. Should have a pretty similar year. Might do a little bit less. He is getting a little bit older, but I think Tavares, no matter what, is going to have a pretty solid year. He is a natural center, though, so honestly, it might be worth grabbing someone who's has a little bit more eligibility, a more rare position. Like the next guy on this list, Kyle Connor, 80 points, 82 games, absolute stud. Had a little bit of an off year last year, but I do think he's going to do a lot better than that. And honestly, this ranking might be really low for him if he can play to his full potential. Nico Hischier, center, number 35 last year with a breakout year, 80 points in 82 games. He's finally showing why he was picked first overall, guys. He's an absolute stud. Love him over here at number 35. Rasmus Dahlin, number 36. Had another breakout year. So many guys on this list had a breakout year. I love seeing that. 73 points in 78 games. And he is that bona fide number 1 defenseman in Buffalo, and honestly could eclipse this ranking as well. Connor Hellebuyck, really depends where he ends up playing this year. Right now I got him at number 37, but if he stays on Winnipeg, probably could end up higher than this. He was one of the top goalies last year, so definitely could exceed this ranking. It really depends where he ends up going this year, but right now I have him at number 37. Jake Guentzel at number 38, 73 points, 78 games last year. He may miss about 5 games to 7 games to 10 games-ish. To start the year, because he did have surgery. If you want to drop him a couple spots, that's fine. But here I got him at number 38. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, 104 points in 82 games, obviously, absolute stud. Obviously, I don't think he's going to have quite as good of a year this year. I don't think he's going to hit 100 points again, but playing with McDavid or Draisaitl, and both those guys on the top power play doesn't hurt at all. Nugent-Hopkins is a pretty safe bet at number 39. Brayden Point, 95 points in 82 games, had an awesome year last year with 51 goals. He's not going to hit that again, guys. His shooting percentage was really, really high, so I don't think it's going to happen again. That's why I dropped him to number 40, but definitely a very safe pick. Andrei Svechnikov is someone who's good in the hits leagues because he hits a lot, so definitely a guy who gives you a very safe floor night in, night out. William Nylander, 87 points in 82 games. He's a stud, guys. He's going to play with Matthews or with Tavares on the first, second line. Should get plenty of power play time. He's a guy who's also a pretty safe bet. Rupe Hintz is the same thing, right? He's playing with Jason Robertson and Pavelski on the top line, top power play. Like, he's going to have a pretty safe floor. Nikolai Ehlers had a pretty off year last year. This is where I think he's going to finish around this year. And honestly, he could even eclipse this. Obviously, was very disappointing last year. I hope he doesn't disappoint again this year because he is such a good player. And I hope that he finds his stride because this is definitely somewhere that he can finish. And if he is going around 107, could be a huge steal in your drafts. Zach Hyman at number 45 got top power play with all the studs in Edmonton. Probably will get that again this year, and that's why I got him at number 45. I got Brandon Montour at number 46, and some people might think this is a little controversial, but Montour was an absolute stud on Florida last year, okay? Ekblad was not getting top power play last year because Montour was just so freaking good. I know Forsling is there too, but he's not really getting power play time no matter what. So Montour is that number one stud in Florida. I don't care what anybody says. He is going to be that number one stud again. He may miss the first few games this season. I don't think he will. It looks like he's going to be healthy enough to start game one of the year. So if he does, guys, Brandon Montour is not the safest pick in the world, obviously, because he did break out last year. He never did that in the past, but I think his confidence is up there. I think Florida's going to give him plenty of opportunities. I think he's going to have a nice year. Alex Tuck at 79 points in 74 games, playing on the top line. Obviously, Tage Thompson, Jeff Skinner. It's a good spot for him to be top power play as well, and he's really shown what he can do over there in Buffalo. So I like Alex Tuck there at number 47. Valeri Nichushkin, this is a bit of a controversial one as well. Obviously, he had the whole controversy in the offseason, so if he does end up playing, guys, Colorado doesn't have a lot of weapons up front, so Valeri Nichushkin, I think, could be a top 50 player. Is he necessarily going to be? No. But if he can stay healthy, guys, which he didn't last year, that's a big thing. If he can stay healthy, he can be a top 50 player. He's going to be playing on with either McKinnon or Rantanen, maybe both. Even if he doesn't play with either of them, he's going to play with them on the top power play, guys, and he is going to produce. He's shown what he can do over the last couple of years. He's a very, very good hockey player. Joe Pavelski at number 49, obviously top line with Jason Robertson. Rupe Hintz, 77 points, 82 games. He's getting older and older, but he's showing no signs of slowing down at all. I do like Pavelski at number 49. And finally, Kevin Fiala at number 50 with 72 points in 69 games. I did finally squeak in a LA Kings player, and Fiala is the best one to be drafting. He is an absolute stud and should go around number 50. And that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching all the way through. If you enjoyed the content, please leave a like and hit that subscribe button for all of my preseason content. Trust me, guys, I'm releasing a video every couple of days, so you're going to want to stay tuned for that. Take care, and I'll catch you in the next episode of Fantasy Tipped.